Hi guys, it's Daniela again and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello. So today's video is very much inspired by a girl that I watch on YouTube called Ashleen. Her YouTube name is Dramaticmac. So about a year ago, she uploaded a video called 10 Brands with One Hit Wonders. This video actually was really good and I really enjoyed watching it, so I thought I would create it for my channel. However, this was about a year ago and I've just had it on my list and I've written all the products out, but I just never filmed it. So today is the day we are filming 10 brands with one hit wonders. So I really hope you enjoy it and let's get started. So the first item that I wanted to talk about is by Max Factor. So this foundation has been a holy grail in my collection for a while. However, they decided to discontinue it. Why? I don't know why. So I'm talking about the Healthy Skin Harmony Miracle Foundation. It's such a beautiful, natural, dewy foundation. I just love it. I haven't worn it recently, so I actually wore it today and I remember why I love it so much. They do have a new foundation that I'm kind of like eyeing up, but I don't think I'm gonna get it just because I have too many foundations. I've tried another foundation from them and I don't really love it, but that one definitely is my favorite. And I have tried like other products from them, especially like older products that have probably been discontinued like back in the day, but that's the only product that I would say to me is worth looking at Max Factor for, but they've discontinued it, so great. So the next brand that I feel like they only are really known for one product is CYO. I hope you know what foundation I'm talking about, but it's this one here. So this is the CYO Long Lasting Life Proof Foundation. So when I think of CYO, I generally think of this foundation and Taylor Wynn, because if it wasn't for Taylor Wynn, I would have never even tried this foundation. I love this foundation. It is by far one of my favorite foundations and it's the only thing I ever think of when I'm thinking of CYO. It's the only thing I would ever buy from CYO, if I'm honest. And I don't know why, I feel like there's just something about the brand that just makes me not want to buy it, and I don't know what it is. But this foundation to me is definitely what makes CYO like a brand that you actually recognize, in my opinion. And yeah, it's definitely a one-hit wonder for their brand. I actually think that this foundation has also been discontinued, so I don't know why brands do that. Like, they see that a product is really selling and they're like, let's discontinue it for some reason. So my next brand is Rimmel. The only real items that I've bought from Rimmel are nail polishes. I actually like their nail polishes and that stupid Stay Matte powder that everyone talks about and I just don't get it. It's never looked nice on my skin. I bought it ages ago, like years ago, and I absolutely hated it. And the only ever thing that I buy from Rimmel, and I hope you know because I talk about it so much, is the Rimmel Insta Duo Contour Stick. For me, this is their best product by far in their brand. Nothing has ever caught my eye as much as this. And once I used this, I was absolutely in love with it. It is such a good contour stick. It blends out so easily. I love the colour. I never use this side just because I don't like the formula and I never use kind of cream highlights. But I will continuously buy this as long as they don't discontinue it. But for me, whenever I'm looking at a Rimmel counter, it's for this or maybe a nail polish, but that's literally it. And even then, I don't really buy their nail polishes. But to me, this is the one product that I absolutely love and to me is their best product. If you're around my skin tone, I highly recommend it. The colour that I get is light/clear. I don't know their colour shade for deeper skin tones. I have a feeling it's atrocious. But if you are like around my skin tone and you are looking for like a contour stick, however, I don't really think this is a contour stick. I feel like it's more of a bronzer. This isn't a colour that I would say that I would contour with just because it's a little bit too warm for contour. Contour is more of like that grey kind of tone because it's a shadow, it's mimicking a shadow, where bronzer is more mimicking like sun. So if you're looking for a good like cream bronzer, because it's not a contour, I would say this is a really good product and it's pretty affordable. So my next brand is Jouer. So when I think of Jouer, I only ever think of their like really hyped up highlighters that I just would never buy because I'm not really into highlighters like that, or their concealer. This to me is one of the best concealers I've used. I absolutely love this concealer and the only reason I got it is because so many people were talking so highly about it, especially Kathleen, and I was like, can it really be that good? Let me try it. and I love this concealer. It's by far my favourite concealer. I actually enjoy this one much better than the Tarte Shape Tape, and it's cheaper. I think this is £17 and it lasts you a long time, and it has got a very good coverage. If I'm honest, I don't really look at Jouer as a brand that I would ever just buy from, if I'm honest. And this is the only product that I just will constantly buy, as long as they don't discontinue it, which I really hope they don't. So yeah, this to me is a one-hit wonder from Jouer, because I don't really feel the need to try anything else from that brand. And when I say one-hit wonders, it's not because I've tried everything from their brand. It's just because that's the only thing that I would buy from that brand, or the only thing that I associate with that brand. So like for me, the Rimmel contour stick, I associate Rimmel with this contour stick. Same as the Jouer concealer. When I think of Jouer, I think of this concealer and only really that product. So yeah, that's what I mean by one-hit wonders. So my next brand is Stila. So I haven't got the products that I'm going to be talking about because they ran out and I threw them away. So it's like the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. So I'll post up a picture right now of them. I had, I believe, 2 or 3 of them. And I really do enjoy the formula when they're not dried out and they dry out very quickly. So for me, the glitters eyeshadows are the only products that when I think of Stila, I think of those, because they are extremely hyped up. They were one of the first brands to create such a product like that one, I would say. I think Stila is pretty expensive for what it is. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about Stila. I have got one of their primers and I enjoy that. I actually would repurchase that, but I don't think I would ever repurchase any of their liquid eyeshadows, just because they dry out too quickly that you have to use it like every day to get your money's worth, if that makes sense. And yeah, for me, when I think of Stila, I think of their eyeshadows, like their liquid ones. So the next brand is Beauty Blender. For me, when I think of Beauty Blender, there's only one thing that I think of, which is a beauty blender. My one's filthy because I did use it today. When I think of Beauty Blender, I literally think of this pink little thing. When I go into a place that has a Beauty Blender counter, I never look at anything else but their beauty blenders. I think it's a genius idea. It has changed the game, in my opinion. It has changed how people apply foundation. I don't apply foundation without using a beauty blender. I do really enjoy them. I don't see myself ever really buying anything else from Beauty Blender. Their concealer looks cool. Their foundation I actually do like, as I said. But to me, this is the one product that when I go into a counter, this is the only thing that I want from there. It is £17 for a sponge, but to me it's worth it. I do wash them every time I use them, just to try and keep them going for as long as I can. I know there's other sponges out there, but just for me, this is the only sponge that I like and I use. I feel like everyone should at least try Beauty Blender once, and just to see how they like it. I know other people say that there's other sponges out there and they're just as good, but in my opinion, I haven't found a sponge just as good as this one. My next brand is MUA. So if you watch any of my videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is by MUA, the Makeup Academy. It's the Wonder Vanishing Cream Primer. I don't ever really look at their stand, but since buying this, I now do look at their stand. I just bought this literally on a whim, and I love this primer. I wish more people would speak about it, because it's such a underrated primer by a pretty underrated brand. MUA is an extremely affordable brand, but when I think of MUA now, I don't think of their £1 powders like I used to back in the day, because I used to wear those. Now I think of this amazing product here. So the next brand to me is Too Faced. Too Faced has never really been a brand that I've ever looked at and thought about buying products from. It's just a brand that I'm just like, it's a brand. Like, I don't know, their target audience is definitely not 27-year-old women. It's like teenagers. So I don't ever really think of their brand. I have tried their Hangover RX primer. I really enjoyed it. It's just a kind of basic moisturizing primer. I've actually tried their Bornway foundation and I actually really like that. However, I don't need another foundation. When I think of Too Faced, for me, I know it sounds silly, but I think of this. I think of their Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer, just because this works so well. It's the only product that I would actually repurchase from Too Faced. The reason I think of this when I think of Too Faced is just because This is the only product that I've found from Too Faced that has blown me out of the water. Like, the foundation I liked, but it's not like how much I like this. Like, I use this and my eyeshadow does not move. A lot of people would probably say their eyeshadows, but to me, personally, their eyeshadows just don't speak to me at all. And yeah, if I was to go into a counter today to get something, it would be this. Okay, so my second to last product and brand I want to talk to you about is by RCMA. So it's the RCMA No Colour Powder. So RCMA are known for their palettes of foundation and concealer. I've never tried any of those. I don't really have a reason to. I don't do makeup on other people and stuff like that, so I don't really have a reason to go out and buy a high-end face palette. When I think of RCMA, and the only product I've ever bought and would buy from RCMA is the No Colour setting powder. So I've actually decanned mine into an old Laura Mercier like tub, but it used to come in like a spice tub thing. I'll put a picture up right now just so you can see what it looks like in its original packaging. When I think of RCMA, I only think of their No Colour Powder because it's such a hyped up product. It is a really good product as well. And for me, it's a one-hit wonder because I wouldn't really purchase anything else from their brand. If I'm browsing on Beauty Bay, I don't ever go to RCMA. I just don't really look at their brand. Okay, so my last product is by Misha. So the product that I'm talking about is the only product I've ever bought from Misha, and it's the Perfect Cover BB Cream SPF 42 number 23. Number 23 is the shade that I have. I got this from TK Maxx, and this was the only ever thing that I've ever looked at their site for. I believe I was on like Feel Unique or something like that where they sell Misha BB cream, and I was gonna buy it off there, but I can't remember how much it was, but it was like expensive for what it was and for a product that I don't know if I'm gonna like or not. And then I found it in TK Maxx, and then I definitely picked it up. So this to me is the only product I've ever heard people talk about from Misha. The only person I really hear talk about this is Jessica Braun, and that's how I found out about this foundation. It's not a foundation, it's a BB cream. It is an absolutely stunning BB cream. I absolutely love it. I've used a lot of it. Like, it might not look like it, but I have used a lot of it. I love it, and to me, when I run out of this, I will repurchase it. So for me, this is a one-hit wonder from Misha. I don't hear anyone else talk about any of their other products. It's only ever this if I hear people talk about this. And that's usually just Jessica Braun that talks about this. So yeah, guys, that is the end of my 10 brands with one-hit wonders. I actually feel like I could do a lot more. I could probably mention Laura Mercier, Urban Decay. I could mention a lot more brands. So if you want a part 2 of this video, please let me know. I am probably going to do that anyways. And yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you know what to do, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.